Yes, ma'am, you can start now. Yes, ma'am, you can start now.
Ritu, you're frozen or what?
I think ma'am has a net issue.
Oh,
Ritu is frozen.
yeah.
Yeah, she said she's on hotspot today.
She's joining from another this thing.
Can't hear Dr. Ritu.
Yeah. Ritu, your audio is not there. Or we can't hear you, Ritu. Yeah. Better. Better. But you're still not audible. Still not very audible.
आवाज कट रही है. It's getting back from the holiday jitters, guys. So chillax and get it done. Take your time. The hotspot is also jittery.
Some days everything is
Some
going.
days it happens.
It happened all the time, believe me. So that's absolutely.
Hello.
पहुंच गई
पहुंच गई?
पहुंच गई
चलो, good.
Yay, you made it. We can't hear Dr. Ritu. We can't hear you.
Ma'am, connect with the phone.
Yeah, phone. On the phone. Yeah, better. How's it going after the Vibe Connect, girls?
Missed
Yeah,
all.
very hectic after that.
Fun. Yeah,
के बिठा देती हूँ.
all the
Because all the things which were pending for the last 1 week we are doing now.
Yes, yes.
Everything was put on hold na, for Vibe
Yeah,
Connect. So yeah,
avalanche of work.
Said it was
getting back to that.
एकदम आपको रिपोर्ट देखकर नीचे नहीं
मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है ऐसे शादी खत्म हो गई हो और you know how you are.
हाँ, शादी खत्म हो गई हो. Yes,
अभी
yes,
मेरी आवाज आ रही
exactly
है?
same शादी खत्म.
Ah,
Yes,
yes.
अभी आ रही है.
पक्का?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lock किया जाए. Yes.
I think the phone is good. Continue.
मुझे यहाँ से लॉग आउट.
आज जो मेरा ड्राइवर उसको ऐसा फील हो रहा है कि फ्लाइट चढ़ा रहा है आज वो घाटकोपर से मुलुंड में 10 मिनट में आई हूँ
वाह.
Wow.
अब भाग के हाँ
Chalo. Good, nice. You made it in time. That is good. Let's start.
स्टार्ट
Dr. Sheila.
Yes.
Dignesh, can we go live? Can I start?
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually we are live.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
We are already
super.
live.
So we are live today, and you have experienced. So, dear audience, you have experienced the perfect techno glitch that can always happen.
BTS. Behind the scenes.
Pictures taken chahiye, work should go on, and the meeting should go on. So, thank you so much for waiting for all of us. And now that we're back with a bang, after the wonderful success of the Vibe Connects, the first founding flagship summit, we are back with a special guest. So, welcome Dr. Shaila Sheikh to today's Vibe Live Hexalog and wish you a very, very warm happy birthday, ma'am.
Thank you, thanks dear, thanks Ritu. That was
Happy
really warm.
birthday.
happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
मैम
Yes.
Wonderful. So we've been literally वो बोलते हैं ना इतनी शिद्दत से हमने शैला शेख मैम को पाने की कोशिश की है कि we finally got you here ma'am today.
हद हो
So
गई
really thank you so much.
हद हो गई. Most welcome. Pleasure, Raja. Pleasure.
Pleasure to have you ma'am.
Love the
So-
vibe in this room, you know.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, we truly love the vibe of all these women, and trust me, we just love the sisterhood that we're being able to build up. So, with that, let me start about the vibe. The vibe, which stands for Women Inspire, Build, and Enhance, is a platform dedicated to fostering women's excellence. It brings together women doctors from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership experiences, and personal journeys that inspire growth as well as collaboration. There are four fundamental pillars of the vibe that are physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives like the Vibe Connect, the Vibe Live Hexalog, the Vibe strives to build a strong community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of this healthcare leadership. I'm Dr. Ritu Johri, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert practicing in the western suburbs of Mumbai. I have a unique background with almost 1.5 decades spent in the pharma industry and now last half decade spent treating diabetes, thyroid, and obesity. Besides clinical practice, I also contribute to research and medical writing through being a co-founder of RFEC, which is a medical marketing agency. But what brings me the most pleasure in sharing is the introduction of this exclusive platform, this initiative, the Vibe, along with the lovely women that you can see around. As a founder, I definitely would love to be looking at targeting fostering women excellence. I'm blessed to be complemented by my husband, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and my family feels complete with a teen son and a toddler daughter. With that, let me introduce you to our team vibe. Dr. Lutika.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lotika Purohit. Sheila, we're really very happy to have you with us today on the Vibe Live Hexalog. As you know, I'm a diabetologist and now a lifestyle medicine physician practicing in Colaba for the last 3 decades. Also partnered by the sugar doctor, which is my husband, Dr. Suresh Purohit, mother to an artist and an entrepreneur. I'm part of the national faculty of the RSSDI, a national executive committee of the RSSDI. Have been part of various posts in RSSDI and Maharashtra chapter earlier. And now we are part of, co-founder of the Vibe. And this really gives us a lot of happiness to be sitting every Wednesday afternoon and discussing insights into the journeys of women physicians who we admire and we just want to share with our other viewers as well. And last week we had a fantastic Vibe Connect, which was really well attended by over 100 women physicians, and we had a wide audience. Now I hand over to Dr. Rukaiya for her introduction.
Thank you for accepting this and being here today with us. I am Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I'm a diabetes, thyroid, and an obesity specialist. I've been practicing in Mulund for the last decade and a half. And this journey has taught me that, healthcare is not just about reading the numbers, it's about understanding people. So, and while I'm not in clinic, you'll find me either I'm working out or playing carom and also enjoying this good company and meaningful conversations, the kind that make you think and laugh. And lately, I have started painting. That's my way of adding little color and calm to the chaos of daily life. I'm truly excited to be here today with my fellow women doctors to learn, to share, and to grow together. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. Over to you, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you, Dr. Rukaya. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for being with us today. It's such an honor to have you with us on this platform. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I practice in Chembur for the last 15 plus years at Rane Hospital and Apollo Spectra Hospital. I specialize in diabetes and obesity management. The story came because my grandfather was sick and he suffered from diabetes, and I pledged my father not to suffer is why I'm doing this and treating diabetes in the first place. I have gained so much knowledge on this platform with all these wonderful women and the ones that we met at the Vibe Connect this year. And it was amazing to meet all of you guys in real life, IRL. And In other things that I love to do, I love to create videos, editing, music. I love music. I love EDM. I love abstract art. I love art galleries. I love to travel. I have had my photography exhibition at Jahangir Art Gallery. And I love to be on this platform. So thank you very much, ma'am. Over to you, Dr. Pranjali.
Thank you so much, Kavita, and good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist at iHeal and App Diabetes Clinic. It's an eye and diabetes specialty center in Mulund. I love treating young diabetic patients and help them live longer and stronger. But apart from that, I believe in awareness. So we do a lot of community awareness camps and more. We have screened more than 30,000 local communities for diabetes and eye preventable eye diseases. But if you don't find me in my clinic, you will see me doing farming on weekends. You will see me hiking with my boys or playing with the pets. I was a state level badminton player, so that's my stress buster. Whenever the days are exhausted, I'll be on the court playing badminton. Apart from that, I love connecting with leaders like you on Wednesdays. It's a good learning platform, and we enjoy learning from all the leaders like you on every Wednesday. And we look forward for the Wednesdays, ma'am. Thank you so much, and over to you, Dr. Ritu.
I'm actually so overwhelmed, to be honest. I seem to be in a room full of absolutely fantastic, multi-talented women. And believe me, I'm wondering, what am I doing over here? Actually, there's so much to learn from you all. कि मैं सोच रही थी, अरे यार, करने क्या वाली हूँ? What am I going to really say, to be honest? So, I mean, I'm just looking forward to, having fun with all of you all, to be very, honest.
Bilkul. That is what is in store for you, ma'am, today. So just to give a brief on the topic, because ma'am has been an amazing persona. She is a consultant endocrinologist at the Sefi Hospital in HN Reliance Hospital, Mumbai. She's the vice president of the SAFES organization. She's been principal investigator in various international clinical trials. She's been the member of Executive Committee ESI between 21 to 24. She's been the treasurer of the ESI Maharashtra between 2019 to 2022. She's been awarded top dogs back to back between 2017 to 2023 by Mumbai TOI Group. She's also received amazing awards like the Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum Foundation for Medical and Educational Sciences Award for Research in Ramadan. And also, she's been the author of International Hajj and Diabetes Guidelines and IDF DAR Guidelines 2021. So, welcome everyone to the Hexalog with Dr. Shaila Sheikh. We bring you this dynamic woman whom you're going to hear in the next few minutes, who's been always on her toes to ensure that patients get the best and do the best in their clinical lives. So today's topic, hormones beyond prescriptions, healing across life stages. With that, quickly one question to you, ma'am. How did you feel? Like you just said that you were clueless, but then how is your feeling now to be on the vibe?
Oh, I am to be very honest, happy, overwhelmed, overjoyous. And I'm so glad I came here, because you come to know so much beyond what you think you know. And that's the beauty about life, Ritu, that every day teaches you something new. So, I mean,
Oh, that's so true, ma'am. That's so true.
and that's what I think I'm going to learn today. I'm going to learn from all of you all. And as I said, the most important thing which I really like about this room is the friendship. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
That's most important, I mean, when we have each other's backs, Ritu, I think life's
Yes.
relatively much more easy and simple, especially when women have each other's backs.
Absolutely. You just said
And
it.
I can see that very, very obviously in this room. I could see that from the going live, banter which was going around. I mean, I like the fact that nobody got hassled because somebody was late. Nobody got hassled because there was a connection which was not happening. Nobody went, oh, kind of a thing. And I think that's what women bring to the table, to be very honest.
That is so beautifully said, and thank you so much, ma'am. It really means a lot to come from you.
Honest.
So, with that, we look ahead to have a lot of fun. So, Kavita, over to you for the first segment.
Thank you, Dr. Ritu. So, hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. Let's move on to the first segment. It's called The Calling. Why endocrinology? So, endocrinology is a specialty built on patience, continuity, and long term patient relationships. What drew you emotionally and intellectually towards this field?
To be honest, Kavita, what drew me to this field was the fact that it was like, a very mysterious field to be to begin with. When we are doing our MD, we're not really very well exposed to hormones. It's one field which we all neglect. We are all busy with our cardiovascular system and listening to systolic murmurs and diastolic murmurs. And that sounds much more glamorous, and I remember being whacked on my head because I could never make out the difference, to be very honest with you. And so it was a mysterious branch. It drew me to it because there was a lot which I thought could be done. It is an upcoming field, still a lot more to learn in that. So I thought this is the field of the present as well as the future, because there's still so much known and a lot more unknown, as we all are seeing at this point of time with the obesity story unraveling. We know there's so much more in this field, but still we are really clueless about. And I think the part of the mystery is what drew me towards it. And because hormones conventionally associated with women, and I always felt that women health was a very neglected segment of society. I belong to a typical. I came from a joint family. I belong to a society where we saw. Women health was somehow always, the back burner, and everything was put on. Anything about women was like, oh, your hormones have gone for a toss. It was always something. It's just hormonal, sort of relegated to the background. Oh, you're just having some of those hormonal whatever, and that's when I thought that, okay, maybe this field is what I really want to be a part of.
True. That makes perfect sense. So, early in your journey, was there a mentor, a patient, or a defining moment that quietly shaped your clinical philosophy?
My mentor, to be very honest, has always been my mom. She was my go-to person for anything on earth. And she was wise beyond her times, in the sense that she could relate to what we would tell her. I never remember having a generation gap with her where, I couldn't go and talk some crap with her. So as far as mentoring is concerned, I think she was the one who taught me that the sky is the limit. You just have to go and grab it. You just grab, really don't need to worry about anything else. And and the person who trusted me the most in my life, to be honest, was my father. So I never had limits. Okay, you can't do this or you can do this, honestly. So if I talk about early mentoring, that's where it came from. And as far as if you ask me about, of course, as we go along the way, if your questions are number of people who are part of that journey. But yes, mentoring would be that. If you ask me about that one, I think the second part of your question was about some
defining moment. Which quietly shaped your clinical philosophy.
My thought process was, the first patient I lost after I started practice. It's very vivid in my mind. We lost her in the ICU. We were standing over there, absolutely dejected after trying for 8 days, like really, losing sleep over it, standing over there, really dejected. Believe me, we were really down and out and wondering, what just happened? And that she was a 28-year-old girl, and her mom must have been around maybe 55, 58. Her mom came to me, put her hand on my shoulder. Her mom who's just lost her baby, her kid, came to put her on my shoulder and told me, Doc, I know you tried your best. That's okay. You don't need to take it so hard. And that's when it struck me that when you keep conversations open, when you tell people that, okay, this is what we are doing, this is what we know, this is what we don't know. Maybe, we need help in this. We need additional help. We need these people to come in to help us solve the problem. And when you keep on communicating to relatives, it's much more easier in the journey. And I think often the problem occurs when we are not communicating enough. We are often, as clinicians, what happens, Kavita, is we're scared of difficult conversations. What we are never taught in medical school is to say, I don't know. As a student, you said, I don't know, it's supposed to be, oh my God, that's a crime. How can you say I don't know?
Mm,
And to
mm,
learn how to tell a patient, okay, I don't know, I need help for this. I need to understand this better. I need to maybe check on this.
yeah.
Once you learn to say that, Kavita, that was a defining moment for me, because till then I had never learned the importance of communicating and saying that, okay. And that's when one sentence by the mother taught me,
Mm,
keep
mm,
on communicating. It's a family who understands that you're doing your best. The results may not be favorable, Kavita. Results may go, for you, may go against you, doesn't matter. The journey with the family matters. And that journey should never make them feel that, you've not done enough or you've not done your best.
True, ma'am. What you're saying is so heartwarming because that is the human part of us that we need to show the patient, the family, that we are also doing our best and we are doing what we can and we need help too. Amazing, ma'am. So you've balanced academics, research, trials, and a demanding clinical practice. How did this multi-dimensional career evolve over time?
Kavita, I learned to prioritize. I learned, okay, today, this is what matters. I'm going to concentrate on this today. Okay, then the rest, everything takes a back seat. Today, if, for example, we are having an audit clinic at our clinic, if you're doing clinical trials, we're having an audit. I know for the next 2 days, I just need to concentrate on this. This is priority for me at this point of time. At some other point of time, there may be some other priority. I need to prioritize that. It's a question either at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the day. Sometimes beginning of the week doesn't work. Things can go totally awry by the time the day also has ended. But maybe you need to, and sometimes you need to prioritize maybe from hour to hour also, saying, okay, now this is more important to me. I need to get this sorted out first. And then maybe I need to get that sorted out. I think that really, helps you sort of balance out everything, which sometimes may seem all over the place.
But like how did this whole thing like come together? How did it evolve, ma'am? Like your this multi-dimensional career, how what are the challenges and what are those steps that define it rather?
To be very honest, Kavita, when I started out as a clinician, I felt we were sort of, oh my God, you're only doing practice. It's something like, oh, big deal. And that's when I thought, I want to change that. I want something more than just being saying, oh, big deal. Okay, you're doing practice. And that's when I said that, okay, if I want to be accepted as somebody with academics in the bargain, I wanted to be accepted as somebody who's also doing some amount of serious medical work. We all know in our profession, it's very easy to call a clinic, oh, clinic hi to karte ho aap. Like it was like, So that's when I realized, and sometimes you want it all, to be honest. And when you want it all, then you realize, okay, now, okay, this is fine. Now I want to move on to this. And this is also what I want. And how much I can sort of, there's also going to be adjustment, Kavita. See, for example, if you're going to go into trials, there's going to be some amount of cutting of clinical work.
Yeah,
You have 24 hours at the end of the day.
A lot.
There's nothing like 48 hours for any one of us. So when there's 24 hours in the day, there's something which you're going to cut out and there's something which you're going to sort of adjust. So it's all a question of what you decide to cut out and what you decide to bring on to the table. And it may just be a different, it's a question finally at different points of time in life, you want different things. Like, for example, at this point of time, you'll all want wife to work out. You didn't want it a year back, for example. At a year back, you must have had different things at the same point of time. On 25th March, everybody was doing something completely different a year back.
True.
So, exactly. So,
I got
it's
it.
something like, and then you decided, no, now I'm going to spend Wednesday afternoon 1 hour. So you all have removed that 1 hour from whatever schedule you'll have fixed, whether it's running or doing whatever. And that's how we all evolve and we all decide, okay, now this is more important to me and this is what I want to do. And it changes, Kavita. It just changes over time. What you may want 10 years back, you don't want now. So it's as, you just learn along the way.
True. One last quick question, ma'am. Today, when you reflect back, what has endocrinology taught you about listening to patients beyond numbers and lab reports?
That's a very, very pertinent question, Kavita. I think endocrinology taught me to definitely listen to the patient first before you pick up that lab sheet also. Your diagnosis is 50% based on what that patient is talking to you. And often we make mistakes when we don't listen to the patient. So as a rule of the book, I will never pick up the file for the first 3 to 5 minutes of the conversation I'm having with the patient. I will not look at reports. I will often just listen to the patient, hear out the patient. Two things it works or helps, Kavita. One, the patient feels wanted. The patient feels that, okay, we are actually listening to them rather than we looking at some file, giving 1 year to them. And when they feel that we've heard them out, they are more happier people when they walk out of your consulting, because they feel that, okay, they've just been treated like, okay, you're sitting on the chair, I'm doing something for you, and I'm just hearing you out. I'm looking at those sheets of papers. So I think that does make a difference when you actually hear them out, actually listen to them. One thing is hearing them, and one is actually listening to them. And I think that difference we all need to imbibe, that you listen to them, don't just hear them out. Don't have a preconceived notion that, okay, if this person is saying this, maybe it's just this. If a person is saying that, it is just that. Because you just don't know what kind of a lesson you learn from the next patient who walks into your consulting. So I've learned the hard way that please listen first before you actually make a diagnosis.
Thank you so much, Ella ma'am. Over to Dr. Ritu for the next segment.
Thank you so much, Kavita. And ma'am, truly, yes, I think completely second your thoughts on that. That, so many times it is just that listening which gives so much happiness on the patient. When they're walking out, they absolutely tell you that, what, we felt so nice even after talking to you. I think that does exactly the honors, which otherwise, if you're lost in files and everything, you kind of miss, the bus. And sometimes, labs can still be wrong, but when you're talking to the patient, that discordance is easily picked up. So that makes a lot of sense. Bilkul. So the next segment that we are going to talk is, I'm sure, very close to you, women and hormones and a changing landscape that we are seeing over the period of time. So the first one coming up to, we are seeing younger women now present with, these lifestyle disorders, be it PCOS, the thyroids, then of course the metabolic concerns, obesity, hirsutism, diabetes. So of course we know that biology is changing. Or is it that just the lifestyles are overwhelming the hormonal resilience?
I think it's a little bit of both, Ritu. Honestly, I think our lifestyles have contributed, of course, in a very big way. Right. It may sometimes may not be the conventional stuff that we talk about. For example, you have this girl walking into your consulting, Ritu, and you'll ask her, she says, ma'am, I'm eating right and I am exercising, which you think is the two most important things. Which
Yes.
What she may not tell you is that she's sleeping at 2 a.m. in the night. She's on a mobile till she's going to bed at 2 a.m.
Correct.
She's very worried about not being right on that Insta post that she has to, she wants to look just perfect for. That's creating a lot of stress for her. She's not talking about the relationships, be it pure relationships or be it, other relationships which are real, creating so much stress for her because she's either not a part of it or a part of it, whichever way it may be. So what we are not realizing is that much more than what we are seeing. When we talk about calories, and when we talk about have you done 10,000 steps, 10,000 steps, 10,000 steps, I think we just scrape the, surface.
That's so true.
Just don't try to really. So I think it's a little bit of everything which sort of, adds to the entire picture.
A mix of everything. Absolutely. Very well said, ma'am. And, often we see that there is, women like they move in, like when they are small, the girls are with the pediatrician. Then they come up, they grow up, they are still looking at the family doctor, and they move on through their hormonal phases, like from adolescence, fertility, menopause, with very fragmented guidance. They have different caretakers whom they are going to. How important do you see endocrine care being? That somebody is there with them right from the time that they are, moving from adolescence, probably entering puberty also. That itself is a very big gray area. People are not very well educated about that. Not every woman is having all the values or the answers to the questions that the girls may have when they're entering that puberty. So how do you see the importance of continuity in endocrine care, and how do you think we can shape that better?
In our country, the problem lies is that people are paying from their pocket.
True, ma'am.
We need to, at all points of time, also be aware about that very important fact. Now, for a lady who is, maybe planning pregnancy or is pregnant, seeing the gynae becomes more important than, of course, seeing the
yes, endo. Yes.
For ladies undergoing cardiovascular problems, seeing the cardiologist is going to become more important than seeing the endo, for example.
Correct.
So, though it's,
Correct.
I mean, I would love a continuum of care, Ritu. The practicalities of the issue is that, somewhere we have to balance this out, create more education, create more awareness. That for example, a lady know also for osteoporosis, she will think it's the orthopedic who will help her the more, to realize also that it's the endocrinologist who needs to take care of her bones, for example.
Absolutely.
So we need a lot of still in that segment, we need a lot of awareness still in that segment. And I mean, though I completely agree with you that a continuum of care is what makes the most sense, theoretically. Practically, sometimes it's a little difficult, considering the fact. And just endocrinology looking after Ritu would be, something like a multidisciplinary team looking after the patient at different points of on what the person's requirements are. Our biggest issue, Ritu, to be very honest, at this point of time, is picking up the phone and talking to our colleagues. I think somewhere needs to break down, start somewhere. And again, unless we learn to talk to each other and say, okay, I saw your patient today and this is what I think and what is it that your thought process was. And then we come to some kind of middle point. फिर क्या होता है ना रीतू, जो मैसेज मैं देती हूँ, जो मैसेज आप देते हो, सेम होता है.
सेम होता है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैम, बिल्कुल.
Unless सब सेम मैसेज देना नहीं सीखे, there's always going to be totally, disjointed
chaos.
Care. People having different opinions does not mean there has to be totally differential care. You can always come on a common platform, okay,
yes,
let's do this and do this together. I mean, you may think of something which I don't think about. I may think of something which you don't think about, because both of us have only 5 minutes at that point. I don't think about the patient.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Often ऐसा हो सकता है कि I may not think about something which when you see the patient with thought process, you may think about it.
Correct.
If you and me talk to each other, ma'am, Shall, I think this is the story I tell you today. I think this was it. And that's the reason we thought about this. And you said, no, this could be an additional way. And I say, yeah, that's possibly could be. Let's work it out like this. Things would become very, very smooth for the medical profession.
I think, ma'am, ये आपने बहुत ही बढ़िया point छुआ है, because trust me, we have recently published certain abstracts. In fact, all of these people were with me on that, where we were talking about dapagliflozin now, the recent SGLT2 inhibitor, which has become one of the commonest drugs. Nephro is prescribing, cardio is prescribing, diabeto-endos are prescribing, and the patient doesn't know. And we probably, if you're not seeing the prescriptions, patients are on two dapagliflozins, one DAPA, one EMPA, and there are, people are landing up in fractures, hypoglycemias, dehydrations, acidosis. So I feel definitely, yes, there is a lot of scope for us to absolutely pick up the phone, speak, and just discuss the way out so that it becomes easier. Even the patient feels good, that अरे मेरे बारे में बात हो रही है. They are really concerned about me and they know about me, that, okay, this is what was discussed. So that is superb. Coming to the next and last question, when symptoms are subtle, like, the fatigue, the mood shifts, the weight changes in these young girls or adolescent girls, how can clinicians avoid both over-medicalizing or missing early disease? So both is not right. We need to be really apt in terms of recognizing them and giving them the apt care. So how do you help, these populations?
We need to see, as clinicians, we need to recognize that there are always going to be times when you're going to underdiagnose or overdiagnose. Okay, so those are the two ends of the spectrum, which you also have to accept that there's a chance that I may miss out on something if I don't invest enough, or I am over-investigating this person for whatever reasons which, medically you feel are fit. Now, coming to the midway where your 80% of patients would fall, would be definitely follow up. What really makes a difference is the patient follows up with you. For example, suppose today you have a patient who see with subclinical hypothyroidism, maybe a TSH of 4.5 or 5, and you decide, no, I think I want to wait. I don't want to really treat you. Let's wait and see what's happening 3 months down the line. that follow-up becomes very important for you, Ritu, that patient is
Correct.
following up with you.
Following
And,
up, yeah.
and so, for example, this patient has come to you from maybe a city in UP. You know, this patient is not going to be able to follow up with you.
Correct.
And that's where your paper then needs to document that, okay, maybe I'm deciding to treat for this reason, or maybe I'm deciding not to treat for this reason. I'm not so sure for the follow-up. And that's what I am then doing. So it gives the person who subsequently going to see your paper also a little clarity that, okay, this was thought about, and maybe that's the reason why, this was decided. So I think that, that kind of variability does help you, and that's kind of malleability helps, because in our profession, none of us can afford to be rigid about anything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We keep on changing according to what the patients come to us with.
Absolutely, ma'am. Beautifully said that. And I'm really so proud that we are women, because women are so okay to be agile and so okay to be malleable. That kind of helps us to maneuver our roots and really, again, have the empathy and the emotional intelligence as well. Wow, we're so blessed. So with that, I will now pass on the baton to Dr. Lotika for her segment.
Yeah. Okay. So really, it's been so nice talking with you, Shaila. So now we move on to the third segment, which is beyond the clinic, prevention and public voice. So you've been deeply involved in awareness programs, and now you also use social media for education. So what drives you to step beyond the clinic?
What struck me, Lotika, that in my clinic, I have access to maybe whatever number of patients I see in the day or in the month or maybe in the year also. And the social media increases this access to a huge number of people who need the right kind of information. And that kind of information, I think, should be provided in a patient-friendly way. Some of my videos can be quite, ridiculous at times, but sometimes it's just that you need to get that message through that, okay, this is what you're talking about in very, very simple layman language. And I think that is something that, we again need to sort of get out of those, how do I put it, those kind of curtains which we draw on ourselves, which has been tough for me. It's not been easy for me to, sort of remove the endos cap and try to think about how do I want to, put the message across in an entertaining way. And it is not a very, because you're so used to being a doctor and you're so used to a certain, way of behaving, and you're so used to a certain, thought process that you're like, okay, will this journey come across well? So we all are learning. We all are learning how to, get out of our comfort zones and put it out there.
Okay. So digital platforms, they can empower also as well as confuse patients. As we've seen, a lot of people, they get very confused with whatever is put out. How can doctors use these digital platforms responsibly?
I think it's actually very important that we use a digital platform. You cannot underestimate the power or the reach of the digital platform now. You are, you become a dinosaur in the room. I'm not sure the dinosaur would fit in this room, but yes, you would become a dinosaur in the room, to be very honest. And that's what none of us want. And we are rapidly evolving times, and we just need to rapidly evolve ourselves. And personally, I believe there's no age at which you evolve. I believe it's only a question of you having the desire to all the time, learn, teach yourself all the time, sort of grow. So then there's no limit to when you teach yourself, and you can't afford to ignore digital media, Lotika. You just can't afford.
Yes, that's true. Okay, endocrine diseases in India are often detected very late. What needs to change there in the system? The mindset or the system or both?
Both, Lotika. Both need a change. Both need a change, because we need to understand that endocrine disorders, the reason they're diagnosed late, because I think the knowledge that is not there with everybody regarding endocrine disorders. So unless you educate your colleagues, unless you educate the lay people, unless you really talk about it more, sometimes the awareness may also not be that there could be something like this. Like fever, everybody knows, okay, you have fever, so it could be at least the basics. This could be this is known. But if you're seeing a person with strife, for example, Cushing's is not something which anybody really thinks about, you know. We
Mhm.
don't think, for example, a person could also be on exogenous steroids and be Cushingoid because of that. And nobody realizes that at gain, that worsening, or that all that is actually connected to the so-called, cortisol in whatever form is being consumed by the patient, which can be huge. Another area which I
Yeah.
really want to educate your Lotika and Cell have this platform is these kids who go to the gym and who are injecting themselves with all kinds of hormones and all kinds of crazy
Oh,
stuff.
yes.
Another
Mhm.
area which we really need to work very seriously as professionals. It's very, very heart-wrenching to see some of them, cycling and then taking FSH and then taking HCG and then taking growth hormone and then taking testosterone and doing all kinds of abuse to their bodies. So I think that's another segment, which we need to really talk about much more, Lotika.
Yes, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it's that's very sad. If you could give one national message on hormonal health for women, what would it be?
I would tell women, each and every woman out there, that if your hormones are in an optimum situation, the quality as well as the quantity of your life is absolutely going to be the kind of life which you are, sort of aspiring to live. It is going to be the kind of life that you want to live. And when you are healthy, hormonally healthy, there's nothing that really needs to stop you. There is no, the gender cannot at least, hold you back as to, okay, you cannot do that because of your hormones. So that completely changes the way you look at life.
Okay. Well, that's very nice because see, normally a lot of everything that happens to a woman right from the time she hits menarche to the time she even post menopause could be attributed to her hormones and things like that. But yeah, I suppose if her hormones are in balance, I think her life is really sorted, so to say. Thank you so much. Now I'll hand over to Dr. Pranjali Shah for her segment.
Thank you so much, Lotika ma'am. So my segment, in the next segment, I'll be talking about physician's inner journey. So first 5-7 minutes today, what we were struggling, we have. So we want to have your practical inputs on this, like chaos, like not reaching on time, not connecting with the internet, irregular schedules. So that we have. So being a doctor, we face a lot of stressors. We have irregular routines, we have metabolic disruption. So how do you manage your hormonal and emotional well-being, ma'am? So we want to have your practical
To be
things
very
so that
honest,
we can follow in our routine. Yeah.
very honest, I have a very strong support system, Pranjali.
Yes.
And I think we need to create these support systems, whoever they may be. Like, it could be your, whoever, it could be your partner, it could be your kids, it could be your friends, it could be your neighbor, it could be anybody who's part of the support system.
Yes.
But what really takes me through a day is a very, very robust support system. Like, I know, for example, okay, if there's something which is really tough and I can't reach, I know, I just need to call maybe my husband and say, okay, this is my situation at this point of time. Can you just back me up on this? And now, there are, these, and I've been very, very fortunate to have a very, very supportive, strong system on both my in-law side as well as my maternal side. I'll be very honest about it. And I've had some fantastic friends. Friends who I can ring up at 2 a.m. in the morning and sort of bawl and say, okay, this is what went wrong in my day or went right in my day. So I think that really helps. Lotika knows Shefali, and I know I can call up Shefali, and she's an early person who goes to bed early, and I'll call her exactly at 3 a.m. at night and say, Shefali, this is what just happened. And she's okay, relax. So we need that kind of, supports, and we need to work on those support systems, Pranjali. They don't happen overnight.
Yes.
So it's a lot of effort which you put in those relationships also. So anybody who thinks that the support system is just going to happen, it's not going to happen. You
Exactly,
as an
very true, ma'am.
individual, as a human being, have to also put in that kind of effort, where the person also knows, okay, I am also available for you at the drop of a hat. And then if required, you should be available at the drop of a hat. So it is never a one-way traffic, Pranjali. There is always a two-way traffic. There is always giving and taking. It's a question at what point of time who's giving and who's taking. And I think on even the most difficult days, you can, sort of sail through them without really getting too worked up about it, frankly.
Yes, so I'm truly blessed to have my sisterhood here because I know I was running late and I was coming from Ghatkopar in 7 minutes. I was like, so all of them will just chill, don't worry, we'll just shift your segments and just relax. So yes, ma'am, support system is really important. And so next question to you, ma'am, is after years of managing chronic diseases, how do you cope up with, you prevent your compassion fatigue? Like we are doing the same thing years and years. So how do you manage that?
You want a very honest answer, Pranjali?
Yeah. This is unfiltered segment. So we want, yes.
I believe a lot in a superpower, Pranjali, by whatever name you call it.
Wow.
And though I'm not a conventionally religious person by the book, I do believe that good begets good and karma comes back. I mean, that's what I really believe in, that karma is just going to come back. So you better do that karma before it's like,
It comes back to
if
us.
I'm allowed to use a little bad language over here, Pranjali, do you give me permission?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, one of the statements which is really stuck in my mind is, karma is a bitch. It always, sort of bites you back kind of a thing, So it's like, those, and that keeps you going, Pranjali. There are days when you're very badly behaved. So it's, I'm as human as anybody. And there's days when I want to snap and I want to be like, oh God, why don't you just understand? I've told this, I think for the end time, especially when you're on rounds and, something has really gone wrong and you're like, yeah, well, I told this you, but I've already told this 5 times. Why can't you get this right? So I think we do that. But the bottom line is that you're aware that you've done that and that's not the right way to do it. And you have that insight that, okay, I'm going to try not to do it next time. So it's not that you don't do it. It's not that you're not going to, sort of snap. It's not that you're not going to be badly behaved sometimes. It's not that you're not going to feel like, what the hell just happened? But the insight is that, no, I'm not going to let that happen tomorrow. And the last thing, Pranjali, is before I go to bed, I send a lot of gratitude out there to the universe. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. So, that helps you realize, okay, you're blessed. Pranjali, all of us sitting in this room are blessed. Big time, to be honest. It's only a question of us reminding ourselves that we are blessed.
Awareness and accepting what we have done, I think that plays a very important role.
These things keep you going. Like, okay, yeah, when you're so blessed, you just can't afford to, not do what right. So I think that keeps Pranjali.
Yeah, and my last
I
question.
hope that was not too much gyana, Pranjali. I'm not getting.
No, we are loving. We just love talking to you, and this is heart-to-heart connection, ma'am. We are enjoying it. So there is no gyan.
Like, oh my God, those are too cringy.
No, ma'am. We are just loving talking to you. So, ma'am, next question to you, ma'am. When do you think about your legacy? How would you like to be remembered as a clinician, as an educator, or as a change maker?
As a healer.
Wow. So that answers all, like everything comes in that one. No? All the threes are included in this.
And Pranjali, to pata hai, healing actually, what I've realized again, the hard way, Pranjali, is can come from somebody who you think, sometimes people come and tell you, nahi madam, maine uska ye khaya aur main theek hua, whatever it may be. And you have that look on your face, skeptical, okay, whatever kind of a look.
Yeah, that happens.
Yes, like a very, very skeptical look on your face. But what I've realized, and this again, I've realized the hard way, that you don't know from where healing will come. Yes. Healing and treating are two completely different. So that was a very, very, again, a very hard lesson for me, very difficult to accept. I was so tuned to the fact that only this is the right way and the rest is all the highway. And slowly you learn to say, okay, maybe there's so much more to than what I know about the universe, and I better
Yes.
accept that, okay, I'm just a microscopic part of it.
So
So,
we are like just
that's
one zaria to do this, and something else is doing, and we are just the middle thing to complete the, like the zaria hai usme
exactly.
like.
Very good.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. And let's over to you, Dr. Rukia, for the next segment.
Ma'am, it's been so wonderful hearing you and, coming out, you're talking such unfiltered things, which is so nice that you bring about the compassion and the humanity, to even such simple conversations. It is such a beautiful human being that you are, that we just come to realize having these conversations. So, ma'am, my segment, the first one is about the audience ask, and we have questions here for you where the audience wants to know that, despite medicine as advancing, we are getting better and better drugs and, better diagnostics, we have newer drugs, and rather even the lifestyle diseases, the younger generation today is rather more conscious about their weight, and they're more conscious about going to the gym than I was while I was in my 20s. But still, these lifestyle diseases are continuing to rise. So, are we becoming better at treating the disease, but less effective at changing the behavior? Why is it so?
I think because our attention span has reduced, Rukaya. We are unable to sustain anything, our sustainability power of doing something. I mean, even when you're scrolling Insta, you look at it exactly for 10 seconds. So I think it's, our next generation is a fantastically fast generation, fantastic with their gadgets and fantastic. But what I'm worried about the next generation, Rukaya, is whether they're going to be reducing that human touch. I mean, what I really worry about is when you go to a restaurant now, you will see, I was somewhere in last week, this weekend, and when you walked in a place, we realized that half the restaurant was on the gadgets.
Actually.
So, it's a very complex situation, Rukia. There's no one answer, which I would love saying, okay, this is the reason or that is the reason. I think it's a little bit of everything. And it is going to require a multifaceted approach to really solve the problem completely. As I said, it may be, we're just looking at going to the gym as being healthy. But frankly, if you look at our genotype, if you look at our phenotype, we were supposed to be working for maybe 8 hours a day in the fields. And we have transited into that 1 hour of the gym, which we think, oh my God, I'm going to the gym. So that has to be good enough. And you'll be sitting for the next 7 hours. So though you've done your morning gymming for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour, whatever time permitted, Rukaya, now for the next 7 hours, you sat on that chair and haven't moved at all from it.
I think we
so,
are that.
Yeah, so it's it's that way. Basically, so it's much more complex than what you and me think it is, Rukia.
Right. So, ma'am, with AI entering diagnostics and risk prediction, what do you think would be the true differentiator between a doctor and the AI-led diagnosis? Will it just be empathy or something more?
No, Rukia, it's going to be something more because AI is finally works only on the basis of what is fed to it. We use AI. Please use AI. I would suggest tell everybody it saves your time. So don't be stupid enough to say, oh, I will not use AI. That's the most stupidest thing you can do. Use AI to your benefit. Use AI when you're stuck. Use AI when you need answers. Use AI when you need some to create presentations, for example. Use AI. But AI cannot replace the doctor at all, Rukaya, because finally the brain picks up a lot more subtleties than AI does. AI only picks up what has been told to the AI. AI is not going to pick up that extra something. AI is not going to look at that, hear that conversation again. AI is not going to be able to, other than the empathy, do so many other things, which I think, so I don't think doctors are going to be completely replaced by AI. The media loves to portray that, oh my God, your job is in danger and all that kind of thing. But I don't think it's going to happen at all. And by nature, Rukaya, I wouldn't like an AI deciding what dose I want to be taking. I always wonder, okay, did AI get that right? No, I'm better off going and asking my doc. They may go to the AI. Our prescriptions, my patient tell me, ma'am, I put up your prescription on Chat GPT and the Chat GPT said it's okay. I said, oh, great. I'm so glad the Chat GPT said it's okay. I no longer get offended about it. I no longer get offended about it. I mean, maybe 2 years back, I would give that look like, okay, I mean, what was that now? But now I'm like, oh, I'm so
Right.
glad the chat, approved of my prescription. Now you can please go ahead and continue using it. So, I mean, we need to change, we also need to change. I mean, when they tell you that, I have my patients telling me upfront, madam, then I went, I saw this, I checked this, and I thought, okay, this looks okay. So that's why I came back to you. I said, I'm so glad ChatGPT gave approval for my consultation. I mean,
Yeah.
just take it in a stride.
So the patients now are much more aware and they are more well read. For us, we are seeing maybe like many, but for them, it is just one. So, they go dig deep into what they are doing and they come up with a list of their surveys. So, ma'am, now is the last segment of our session today, the Vibe Live, which is the rapid fire session. So it's time to switch gears where we are going to lighten it up with this signature Vibe Pulse and few quick questions, and I want you to give us very instinctive and honest short answers to them. Okay, so let's start. The first question: most misunderstood hormone.
Oxytocin.
Okay, please explain that. This
Oxytocin
was
is
just
a
out of
hormone.
syllabus.
There's a high level of oxytocin in this room at this point of time, which is which is deciding the love and the romance and the romance. I mean, I loved using the word romance instead of bromance, and
Yeah.
the connectivity, and all that is what is oxytocin all about. Other than, of course, what is its use in parturition, but I think it's one of the most misunderstood hormones.
Okay, ma'am, diabetes care today, is it reactive or preventive?
Preventive.
Okay.
We are in an era of GLP receptor agonists. We are going to prevent diabetes.
Yes, I think we are all going to be talking about remission of diabetes rather than getting the A1Cs and targets, probably. Yes. Clinic counseling,
Yes.
is it data or dialogue?
Data or?
Dialogue.
I didn't get you. What did you say?
Counseling in clinic,
Both.
is it data that you say or is it a dialogue?
The dialogue depends on the data. They both go hand in hand.
Okay. One lifestyle change that gives maximum endocrine benefit.
Being happy. Less stress.
Okay, that's nice. Social media for doctors, is it a responsibility or opportunity?
Both.
Both. You should take up this opportunity and use it responsibly.
Yes, exactly.
Young doctors today, are they ambitious or overwhelmed?
Ambitious?
Hmm.
Yes, I would say ambitious.
Endocrinology, is it patience or precision?
Both. Precision with patience.
Precision. Fantastic, ma'am. That was absolutely sharp, sincere, just exactly what Vibe stands for. So it was just so authentic, and we loved having every conversation with you. It's been so wonderful. So there have been many learnings for us today, and each one of us will start talking about the learnings that we had. And my learnings from today's were a few. One is we need to learn to prioritize. Each day can be a different prioritization. It could be different daily, hourly, or weekly, or yearly. And listen to the patient first and always have gratitude. Also, the strong support system just doesn't come up. We need to work towards creating that strong support system. So that's amazing. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Pranjali, for your learnings.
Thanks, Rukia. So for me also, like a strong support system, and I believe the more you give, the more you get. So like you need to form a good support system, and awareness, acceptance, and surrender. I think that's what I could gather from your thing is like keep doing your work, but just be humble, and at the bedtime you can thanks to universe for giving all the opportunities and blessings. Ritu.
So I think what I really loved, of course, everything But if I have to point out a few, the first thing that touched my heart was, of course, having, that 3 a.m. friend. I think I have found not one, so many. So I'm so glad to have this vibe sisterhood, and of course, that entire pool is growing. So thank you, each one of you all who's here right now, Lotika, Kavita, Pranjali, Rukya. And another thing which I really loved, ma'am, which you said, is that कभी ना कभी कुछ तो miss होना है. You can't be everywhere. And that is, I think, one of the biggest myths we face as women. We have a lot of guilt, when we are at work, we'll think about the kids and the home, and we are at work, home, we'll think, oh my God, I'm missing out on my career, and so on and so forth. So I guess we have to put ourselves into those shoes that, hey, look, just hold on, take a pause, take a deep breath, and this is where you need to be 100%. Do not really waver your thoughts. It's okay to lose some. You're gaining something any which ways at that point in time. So that will give your work also good amount of quality, and also give your mind a little bit of a sanity. Kavita.
So true of what Rokia, Pranjali, and Radu have said. But one thing that sits in my mind very well, and I can resonate with it, is Zaria. आपने कहा हम जरिया है, हम जरिया है. हम सिर्फ healing करेंगे. We will not only just treat. Healing is what we will aim for. So I love that. Thank you very much, ma'am. Over to Dr. Lotika.
Yeah, so many learnings, and yes, of course, you always have to have a good 3 a.m. friend. That's very important, as well as a very good support system, because to back you up whenever you are, unable to be, because we are all multitaskers and we all thrive on that. I think without multitasking, maja bhi nahi aata. So that is there. But what I really liked was that, listen to your patients. Rather than just treating the reports, listen to them. What are their concerns? What have they come to you for? Because no happy patient ever comes to visit us. They always have some problems. So you need to, give them a ear, listen to them, and then I think you're able to solve, or then your thought process works better. Yeah. So this has been really fantastic, hearing you and sharing experiences with all of us. And thank you so much. And thanks to all our viewers who have been here, who have heard us. And Shella, is there any quote you'd like to add? Any quote that motivates you?
I'm just so happy to be here, honestly. It was a fantastic afternoon, and I really loved. I mean, I love the fact that you all are such smiling and happy people. So I learned.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So we end with our signature sign off, which is the vibe. Put your fingers together. Yeah. So at the count of 3, we say be the vibe. 1, 2, 3. Be the vibe.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being there with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Thanks
so
for having me here.
We had so much
Okay.
fun. I hope you did too.
No, I
Yeah.
really did. Absolutely. And I spoke absolutely from my heart.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.